Sober. It is episode 466. Welcome. If you're here for the first time, welcome to Busy Living Sober. My name is Elizabeth Chance. My nickname is Busy. I'm so glad you're here. If you're here and you like what you hear, please subscribe to my show. And I am also on Patreon, Patreon.com/Busy Living Sober. And again, it's episode 466. And by the way, if you're back, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Again, please share this with your friends. It would mean the world to me. And today, my topic is honesty, transparency, authenticity. It's been quite a week. I went to Austin, Texas. Had a great time flying there with a bad back. Do not recommend flying when you have a really bad back because it's totally not comfortable. And honesty is best policy. And as you guys know, I haven't been taking any painkillers, so that's just not my thing. And so I went and I took some Tylenol, and I was in pain, but I made it. I made it there and back, and I had a great time. And I just want to tell you, Austin's really fun. The food was amazing. And I went to the mothership. I went to Joe Rogan's mothership and went to the comedy show. What fun was that? It was awesome. It was really, really fun. Recommend it to anybody out there that likes comedy. It was a little crass at points, but it was fun. And so back to the honesty. Being honest is like one of the first things. When I got sober, I was like one of the first things that they read this thing in 12-step meetings, and it's called How It Works. And in How It Works, I only got scammed through the beginning of it, but there's 3 times I know in just the first couple paragraphs in How It Works that it says honesty. So I was like, wow, I've been thinking about honesty with what's going on in the world, with what it's like to be a human being, and how important honesty is, right? Honesty, transparency, authenticity is like the number one most important things in the world, at least to me. So being honest. And I was thinking about it this morning when I was actually taking notes for today's podcast. I was thinking, wait a minute, when was the first time somebody told me to lie? And I think maybe either somebody told me to lie, or instinctively I thought, oh my gosh, I have to lie about this. I'm scared. I can't tell the truth. I'm going to get in trouble. And that's when I was a kid, right? It was like, don't do this or you're going to get in trouble. So you kept things to yourself, or you fibbed, and you would maybe say, oh my gosh, I'm not going to eat this, or I'm not going to do this, and swear to your mom. And then you'd go and do it. And then she'd ask you and you'd say, no. I remember, like, especially with my kids, I'd be like, did you eat any of the chocolate cake? And they'd be like, no, no, what are you talking about? And then you'd look at their face and there'd be chocolate all around their face. So I think it starts at a young age, this not being transparent, not being authentic, and not telling the truth and not being honest. So it starts in the beginning when we're young, and it says, you know what, I'm not going to tell the truth. I'm going to lie because it's I can't tell the truth because I'm going to get in trouble. I got to lie. I got to lie or I'm going to get in trouble. Again, I remember so many things when I was young that, I wasn't supposed to do this. And I remember even my mom, God rest her soul, when she was like in her 50 years old, and she'd be like, now don't tell your grandmother the truth, and don't tell your grandmother. I'd be like, you're lying to your mom still at 50 years old? And she'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, oh my gosh, why? Why are you lying? Why are we lying? Why does everybody lie? Why is it such a thing? And I think that it's gotten to the point, we live in this world that we've gotten to this point, like you have to lie to get away with anything. You can't tell your truth. You've got to be like, oh, I can't tell the person the truth because they're not going to like me. Oh my gosh, if I don't tell the truth, they may judge me. I can't tell the truth because I might not be invited to the party anymore. I can't tell the truth because I might not be with the popular people anymore. I can't tell the truth because somebody might not like me and judge me. That's what the real truth of it is, isn't it? Like, somebody might not like you, somebody might judge you. But what about being true to yourself and true to your heart? What about that? How does that feel? Being honest with who you are and owning it and being proud of it instead of being ashamed. It's like the American flag these days. You know, if you have an American flag hanging outside of your house, it means you're a Trumper, right? It means that you're a Republican. It means you believe in God. Oh my gosh. What if somebody thinks you believe in God? What if somebody knows you're a Trumper? Is that something to be ashamed of? You've got to hide it. You've got to, oh, I can't tell anybody I'm a Trumper. It was interesting. I talked to a friend of mine who was just up in New York, and he was telling me, he's like, I was just in New York and I had people coming up to me and they're like, you know, I'm voting for Trump. I'm voting for Trump. I'm voting for Trump. It's kind of like alcoholism, right? It's like, you know what? I can't tell anybody I have a drinking problem. They're gonna judge me. So I don't want anybody to know I'm an alcoholic. I mean, that was how my childhood started. It's like my parents would be like, their mothers were, oh my gosh, they have alcoholism. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's like nobody knows. Nobody knew I was a drunk because everybody knows. If you've been listening to me for a long time, you know I've been an alcoholic for. I mean, it wasn't like a secret. It's like, oh my gosh, there she goes. She fell out of the bar. She fell down in the snow. You know, that was my thing. And I remember being like, timber. And just that was my thing, right? I fell a lot. So was it a real secret that I had a problem with alcohol? I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, but me getting honest about it was the first thing I did. You know, it was kind of funny. I think back to that now. Like my first thing I did was get transparent with people was like, guess what? I'm an alcoholic. Guess what? I'm an alcoholic. Like I wanted to tell everybody before I was like judged. I was like, you can sit here and look at me, but I'm just going to tell you who I am right now and judge me all you want. That's who I am. That's who I am. I patented sober, not ashamed. Now, was I popular anymore? I don't even know if I really was ever popular and how important being popular was to me. Honestly, did I have a lot of friends that I drank with? Yes. Did I have a lot of people that I would hang out with all the time that we all drank the same? Yes. And did I leave that group? Yes. And when I left that group, did anybody really call me and see how you're doing? No, nobody did. Let's be honest. You know, I had this group that was like the most important thing was drinking. So did they call me when I got sober? No. I mean, was it painful? Yes. I remember, I don't even know why this is coming up, but I have to talk about it. I remember when I turned 50, 5 years ago. I had hung out with all these girls in high school. You know, there was a bunch of us. There were five, no, there were five of us, maybe six of us. I'm not going to count. It doesn't really matter what the number was anyway. It was more than four, I can tell you that. And we turned 50. All these ladies turned 50. And these ladies and I had been friends in high school. Now, I drank with them a lot. I did other things with them a lot. And so I go and I get sober. Not only do I get sober, I patented sober not ashamed. Then I patented busy living sober. So this is 50. This is 5 years ago. And these ladies and they all decided to go on a trip for their 50th birthday. Was I included? No, I was not. That's not the big deal. I'm like, I wasn't included. But then they went and they posted a picture of them today and of them back in high school. And who was dead in the center? Hello, me. And they posted it on Facebook. I was like, really? You're going to post this picture of me on Facebook? And it kind of hurt my feelings. No, it did. I'm not going to lie. It hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings. I was like, really? You're going to post a picture of me back in the day and then not include me because I don't drink in your little vacation? Okay, painful. Did that hurt? Yes, it hurt. Am I lying to you? No, it hurt. And guess what? I didn't drink over it. I pointed it out to one of the people that were in the picture and I said, I just want to let you know that wasn't really kosher. And they really were like, I get it. Yeah, that wasn't really kosher. I can see where you would feel bad. And I said, well, I did. And thank you for apologizing. But that's my authenticity. Like, I've got to speak my truth. I had to say to this person, guess what? What you posted was not cool. That is hurtful. People don't think about that when they go on certain platforms. It's like back in the day when I was in high school, if somebody had a party in 1986, 85, 86, 87, somebody had a party and I wasn't invited, I wouldn't know about it till I got to school that Monday. And when I got to school on Monday, people might be talking about a party, and they were like, "You weren't included." Well, who cared? It was already over with. I didn't care then. But today, people post all this stuff, And they're like, I had a party or I went here and you weren't included. And you're like, wait a minute, I feel kind of bad. That's being authentic, owning it, and saying to somebody, you know what, when you posted that picture and I wasn't included and I thought I was your good friend, that's being truthful and honest. That's how we get better. But we live in this world that's so filled with mental illness today because everybody's got to sit here and not say anything for fear of pissing somebody else off. But when we know inside these people are pissing us off, somebody's pissing us off, we don't tell the truth. We don't say, you know what, this is how I'm feeling. This is my truth. This is my truth. That's how we get free, by the way, is by speaking our truth, feeling who we are. I understand that people want to do certain things, act certain ways, and we're supposed to sit back and say, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I have to tell you, I watched a gentleman on, I was on whatever stupid social media platform I was on because I've been sitting on the couch a lot because of my back. I'm walking and I'm going to swim today, but I've been watching more social media than I normally do. And I'm watching this social media person and it's a man. Okay. It's a man, facial hair and all, but he's a woman. He says he's a woman. He probably weighs 250 pounds. I mean, the guy was huge. And he's got this floral dress on. That's a woman's dress. He's got his short hair, not long hair or anything like that. It's a guy. It's a total dude. There's no question. There's no femininity about this guy. Tattoos, whatever. And he's sitting there and he's like, I went to a women's bathroom and this woman was in the bathroom with her daughter and she cursed at me and told me to leave. And this was the worst day of my life. Okay, I'm going to tell you, if a guy walked into a bathroom that I was in and I had a child with me, or if it was just me, I'd be like, what are you doing here? This is a women's bathroom. I don't want you here. Sorry. I know you want to be a girl and all, but you're not. So take your junk and go into the men's room. Get out of the women's room. I don't want a guy in I don't want a guy there. I just don't. And right now, we're living in this world that it's not okay to say that that's not okay with you. We're living in a world that the media is telling us we're supposed to be okay with it. We're supposed to sit back and say, it's okay that I have dudes in the bathroom with me. I can imagine if you were like a heterosexual guy and you were in the bathroom, or maybe even if you were gay and you were in the bathroom and you're using the urinal, do you want a chick coming in there and checking out your junk? I don't think so. I don't honestly think so. Like, I would not want to be a guy. I know my sons would not want a girl to come into the bathroom where they were using a urinal. And we can't speak up because the media says no. No, we're supposed to embrace this. It's supposed to be okay. We're supposed to sit there and say 2 plus 2 does not equal 4. Well, I'm sorry, my friends. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 1 plus 1 equals 2. And what you're trying to show us with the smoke and the mirrors and everything else, I feel like we're living in the Wizard of Oz. Do you ever feel like that? I talked about it in my newsletter from last Friday. I feel like we're living in the Wizard of Oz. In the Wizard of Oz, we all are scared of this voice. Oz is in the room. You can't do this. We're not letting you do this till you do these things because I am the great, powerful Oz. And little do we know, and that's, by the way, The Wizard of Oz, one of my favorite movies of all time. But there we go. And we get to the part where Dorothy and they all show up at the Castle of Oz. And Toto, a little dog, a little Yorkshire Terrier, goes running over, pulls back the screen, and there is an older gentleman in front of a computer, and he's speaking into a microphone, and we're all supposed to be scared. But look at what it was. All smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. And right now, we are living in a society that's smoke and mirrors everywhere. Smoke and mirrors everywhere. Where's the honesty? Where's the truth and the authenticity in our world today? Where is it? Everybody lies. Everybody hides. Everybody's trying to show us all this BS, and we're supposed to say, oh, okay. Like, let's be honest. the vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris, was known as the border czar since 2021. Here we are 3 years later. She's running for president. And no, they're saying, oh, no, she wasn't. She wasn't. And we're supposed to believe them? Seriously? This is utter bullshit. I call chicken. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Guess what? You can't. You know what would mean so much more to me? And it doesn't happen that much in our world anymore. But if she had the strength to say, you know what? I did a terrible job. I did a terrible job at this. I did a terrible job at that. I did a terrible job at that. And I want to change. And I want to change in front of you. I'm going to go and be the president of the United States. And I'm going to change all these things about myself. I'm going to be a good politician now. Give me a chance while I'm sitting in the White House, while there's people, while there's, fighter jets flying into Alaska from China and Russia. And just let me go and try and be a good leader now. Now that now that I can say that I'm Black, even though I'm from Jamaica and I'm Canadian and Indian, I'm going to say, okay, now you can vote for me and you're going to give me an opportunity to try to be a good president while I'm in office. I have no record, because every record I have is shit. And they're going back in the media saying, oh, that record wasn't really there. That's like me saying, you know what? I'm going to erase my past. I'm going to pretend like what didn't exist. And I'm going to rewrite my past. I'm going to rewrite my past. And I'm going to tell you this. And I'm not going to point at you. I wanted to, but I'm not going to point at you. If you're watching this, you're going to put out my finger if you're listening to this. I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you this. Your name is all you have. Okay, in this world, your name is all you have. And our history and what we do in our lives is what makes us who we are as human beings. So I can tell you this. When I was first quitting drinking, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I remember being at different parties with different friends. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't, I feel like drinking. Da, 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 da. And they'd be like, no, you're not going to drink. And I remember somebody with more time looking at me and saying, play the tape. And I'm like, what tape? And they're like, the tape of what happened to you when you drank before. Like, play the tape of what it looked like. That means go back in my history, rewind, think back to what happened every time I drank. And I'd wake up the next day and go, what's going on? Where's my car? I don't remember anything. Because that's what my life was like when I was drinking. And if I didn't have that history to learn from, I don't know if I'd be sitting here with almost 18 years. Literally, I remember. It's like I'm learning so much from my kids. And when I deal with some things right now, I think back in my history. How did I deal with that? I've been on this planet for 55 years, so I've got a lot of history that I can look back to and see how I acted in certain times and certain behaviors and certain things I said that didn't go over well, and I've got to change those things. But that's what I get from my history. That's what we get as Americans. We see what had happened in the past, but what's going on right now, trying to erase it, pretend it wasn't there, when we all know that it was. Why? Why do they want to erase what had happened? Why do they want us to be robots? Why do they want to dumb everybody down? Because they want to take control over us. It's been done in history many, many times. America was started because we wanted freedom. We wanted the ability for choices. We wanted the ability to be our authentic selves and rise up and actually love our neighbor, even if they were different than us. But all the media is doing right now is polarizing us. That's it. That's all Kamala Harris wants to do. Dumb laugh. Dumb laugh. I'm proud to be an American. I've always been proud to be an American. I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up with a family that loved America. My father even tried to work for this country, and he did. And I always remember my grandmother was a huge patriot. She loved America. She went to college and got a job in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, working for for the Women's Republicans of Pennsylvania, and she was a proud American. And I feel like here I am, her granddaughter, and I'm a proud American, and I'm a proud Republican, and I believe in what we stand for. I believe in freedom. I believe in the right to bear arms. I believe in all of those things, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. And right now they're trying to tell you if you have a gun, you need to be ashamed. Whatever, whatever. You know, what is going on today is scary in so many ways. But you know, it's something interesting I read this week after seeing what happened at the Olympics, which I have to be completely honest with. I watched like a little bit portion of it the other day. I just had an epidural and Friday I was kind of relaxing and I saw it come on. And I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch all of it. I recorded it, but then I heard what had happened and I didn't want to spend my time watching a debauchery. I didn't want, it's too dark for me. I'm just not, I'm not into the darkness. And I'm not into people putting down Jesus, and it just doesn't sit well with me. And there's a couple things that, you know, really that mockery of what that supposed art, it's French artist designed for that opening ceremonies was supposed to be cool. It was like, it was disgusting. It was disgusting. I can't even believe somebody's like one of the men that was up there wearing women's clothes. You could see actually their private parts. I just saw that yesterday. And, you know, trying, oh, I don't want to give it too much time. All I'm going to say about it is this. Um, when you're making a mockery of Jesus, you know, Jesus would still love those people. You know, Jesus loved everybody. Jesus loved everybody walking on the planet. They didn't like him, but he would have loved them. He loved everybody. And he would even today, I know he loves all those people, even though they made a mockery of him. And that's the truth. God loves everybody. Jesus loves everybody. And you can go and give God and Jesus the finger, but he's still going to love you. That's the crazy thing. Like we can sit here and do all these things to him and we can be mean. And one day, unfortunately, I think when we die, that's when we really get our judgment day. And so these people doing this on this planet, I wish I send them light. I don't want to watch it. I'm not going to spend my time watching it. I can't support it, but I pray for those people. Because to be and act that way is just a mockery. It's just a mockery. And I feel bad for them. I feel because you've got such darkness. And I know they would say they didn't care. You know, I had somebody write to me, you know, last week who was on my podcast and he saw that I'd put up a Melania Trump and didn't like it and wrote me this letter, thing. And I said, God bless you. And he wrote me back, I don't believe in God. And all I could think was, I just pray for you. I pray for you because to live in such darkness, I can't imagine. It would be so debilitating, so debilitating. I mean, I think that being able to be your authentic self and be your honest self and love who you are gives you light. It brings you into the light. It brings you into the light. They always say that Republicans are so much more attractive. And it's kind of crazy because I see people that are so angry and they have frowns on their faces and they hate, hate, hate. And I don't hate Kamala Harris. I wish her the best. I feel like she is, I mean, look at her. She's trying to get to this place she wants to get to, and she's willing to do whatever it takes. Drop her laundry, do whatever, get in bed with whomever she has to get in bed with. She will be told what to do and she'll do whatever anybody else says, but that's not her authenticity. Her authenticity is that person that they catch on the camera all the time laughing and being like, because she's nervous and she's not our authentic self. Wouldn't it be nice if she got to that place that she was our authentic self and she could tell the truth? Wouldn't it be nice if people could tell us the truth? If we could live in a world where people were happy, joyous, and free and told the truth. I know that that is like so naive for me to think. I know that. I get it. I get that I'm naive. I get that I want people to tell the truth and I want people to be honest. And I get that that for me to have that feeling is like I'm being naive. I'm being like a little kid. I get it. Because I know we live in a grown up world where darkness wants to win, but the light always does. And if we come together and we get authentic and we speak our truths, we could probably change a lot of things. We have to speak our truths. We have to be authentic. We have to be who we are in our hearts and not be ashamed of it. We need to like hold our heads high, be proud of who we are, be proud of our families, and know that no one is perfect except for God, and everybody makes mistakes, and everybody is a sinner. It's just how do you get to the place of being a sinner to being somebody that's honest and truthful? Honest, tell the truth, be proud of who you are. And I understand feeling hurt and feeling badly when you feel something different and you feel sad inside and you think that if you become a different sex or you do something really dramatic that you're going to feel better, but I can tell you from someone that's done that in her past that you don't feel better. You don't feel better hiding who you are. You don't feel better when you feel shame. You don't feel better when you're not being moralistic. I can tell you that. I can tell you when you're not being moralistic and you don't follow morals and you get to a place where you can't hold your head high, when you have no integrity, it feels really bad. And you tend to find people that are feeling just as bad as you. There's no light there. No light. Having integrity, being honest, not hateful. You don't have to be hateful. No one has to be hateful. But being honest is like such freedom. It is such freedom. I'd say one more kid story. I remember when I was little, and I've always been a big talker. I know you're surprised, shocker. I've always liked to talk a lot. And I remember when we would be driving from St. Louis to Florida, to Sanibel, Florida, and we'd be in the back of the car, my parents' station wagon. Remember these? You had the station wagon, and you'd all be in the back. Nobody was wearing seatbelts then. And you'd all be in the back of your car. Your parents would have put down the row behind them, and you'd make it all flat, and all four kids are back there. And I remember my parents would be so sick of the talking, and I get it now as an adult, but as a child, I didn't get it. And I remember, my parents would be like, "Let's have a quiet contest." And rather than sitting back there and being like, "I have to win this, I have to win this," I knew I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I knew it. From when I was little, I knew I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I knew I had to go, chicken. Oh my gosh, I lose, I lose, I lose. I'm not going to win the quiet contest. I'm going to lose because I'm going to open my mouth and I'm going to not shut up. And it was always me that would be like, I can't do it. I have to tell you the truth. I can't keep my mouth shut, mom and dad. I cannot keep my mouth shut on this car ride. Little do I know that I think I have ADHD, but does it matter because I'm not going to drug myself? No. I have to find solutions. And I think we're all on this journey to find solutions, to be better. And I don't think we need to be ashamed anymore. I think it's time, like Toto, and like, let's pull back the curtain and let's show the world who we are and embrace who we are and embrace our families and embrace our faith. If you believe in God, why not tell the world? If you love being an American, why not tell the world? Why not hang a flag? Are you worried somebody's not going to talk to you, invite you over? I think keeping it pent up inside of like who we really are, we need to celebrate who we are. We need to hang those flags. We need to put whoever politician that you do support in our yards. But just remember, we all need to do research, including myself. I do research all the time. I read things and I hear things and I watch things, and it's my duty to go and educate myself to what's really going on. And sometimes that means watching both sides of the coin. And I can tell you this: I've been watching what's going on with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and to me, it's a shit show. I think having people go to Union Square in Washington, D.C., the train station I went to as all during my college years, because I lived in D.C., that's where my college was. And I went to Union Station all the time. And I can't even imagine somebody taking out a can of spray paint and spraying our monuments. I can't even imagine it. Nobody would have done that when I was a kid because people respect things back then. In 1991, 1992, I graduated in 92. Nobody would have brought that out because, again, people had respect. Respect is gone because we know that we're being lied to. We know that there's no transparency. We know that there's no authenticity. We know that they're trying to confuse us. But we're not dumb as Americans. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Are we lazy? For sure. But it's time to stop being lazy. It's time to own who we are, be proud of who we are, do research, figure it out for yourself. Don't follow what the pack does. Who cares if you're not popular? Who cares? Because if you believe something different, it's okay. And if you have to leave the group you've been with your whole life, so be it. I've had to do it. Is it lonely? Not so much in the end. You know, in time, it feels more comfortable, actually. I realize now, looking back, it was a lot of noise. And did those people really love me at the end of the day? Not so much. They liked that I was a partier, and maybe I made them feel a little bit better because I drink more than them. But that's okay. It's okay because I don't need them. I wish them the best. Do I want to hang out with them? No. No. They showed me their true colors. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I know you're okay. But own who you are. Look in the mirror and like what's looking back at you. Be honest. Tell the truth. Have some authenticity. That's enough of me for this Wednesday. I will be back on Monday. I have a fabulous guest, this rabbi. It's amazing. I want you to listen to it because it's really we talk about a lot of deep stuff and we go back and forth. Was a really great conversation we had. And Friday's newsletter is going to come out, so go sign up for that. I'm giving you all these things to do. Sign up for the newsletter. Go listen to podcasts. Needless to say, enjoy life, have fun, and you know what? Get busy living sober if you want to. Take care, everybody. And until next time, be well, be safe, own who you are. And we got to sit back and watch this ride. It's so interesting. Isn't it interesting what we're going through? I think it's so interesting. You know, everything's being exposed to us. There's no more hiding anymore. Everything's being revealed. Until next week, keep getting busy, living sober. Take care, everybody. Bye.